To celebrate International Week, we are going to make New Zealand Maori Indian tribal necklaces using salt dough. First, we're going to make our salt dough. You need a few simple ingredients and the help of a grown-up. Okay, to make salt dough, all you need is salt, all-purpose flour, and hot water, and a work surface. I put this piece of parchment paper on my table so it wouldn't make a mess. You add the water and the salt in the bowl and you stir it up until the salt is dissolved, and then you add your flour and you stir it all up. If your salt dough is too sticky, you add a little more flour. If your salt dough is a little too powdery, like too much flour, and it's not sticking together well in a ball like this, then you add more water. So after it cools just a little bit, you stir it all together until all the ingredients come together, and you make it into about the consistency like Play-Doh. That's what this feels like, is Play-Doh. Okay, so in the interest of time, I have already made our salt dough. Now let's make our tribal necklaces. Let's move this out of the way. Now, the Maori people are the native Polynesian people of New Zealand. Their culture is interwoven with rich mythology and symbolism. And they use several different symbols as tribal necklaces and tattoos and decorations on their clothing and whatnot. But we're gonna make a necklace. So we're gonna pinch off, it's actually a pendant for a necklace. So you're gonna pinch off a little piece of the salt dough and kind of roll it into a kind of like a snake until it's the size that you want it to be, and you just make a little symbol. Now these symbols mean different things. You can look up all sorts of different ones on the internet. Some of these symbols might remind you of some of the images you may have seen in the movie Moana, if you watched that movie. I imagine a lot of you had. Okay, so that could be one. Let's make another one. So I'm gonna make another snake, and I'm gonna leave that in that spot because it needs to dry. And it takes, like, it won't be hard and dry until probably about this time tomorrow. So this one I'm gonna make a little bit longer. And you have to be very gentle because it really acts just like Play-Doh. It's gonna tear apart if I'm not gentle enough. But I'm gonna try to make one that almost looks like an infinity symbol. Let's see, I'm gonna loop it around. Let's see. Loop it around like that and kind of smush the edges together and kind of flatten the whole thing just a little bit, because when this dries, what I will do, you know what, I think it's a little too long. So look, I just pinch that off. And very patiently smooth it out. Doesn't have to be perfect. Oftentimes these pendants were made out of bone. They were carved out of bone. There, okay, I think that looks pretty good. So now when these dry, I'll be able to loop it onto a cord, any kind of yarn or cord that you can make it into a necklace. So I'm gonna have to wait for them to dry until they're hard enough to pick up. But meanwhile, I could play with all the rest of this salt dough. I wonder what else I could make out of it. I hope you try to make some salt dough and see what you can make. See if you can make one of the pendants like the Maori people from New Zealand. Y'all take care. See you soon. Bye.